Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another car video. Big D energy. And y'all know what I mean when I say D. Big D energy. Oh, and just incidentally, before I got in the car, I saw one of my personal trainer buddies up here. She was impressed. She said, "Yeah, looking swole, doing that thing." Yeah, I guess I'm in the swole category. Hey, that's cool. Yeah, because I can toss them around. That's actually part of that big D energy. Now, what is big D energy? Well, of course, it's that big dick energy, but it means more than the actual size. It's a combination of, to a woman, looking sexy, looking like you got sex appeal, looking like you can get in the bedroom and tear that joint up. Like you be knocking in this stuff. Get that Star Trek music. Dun, 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 dun. Shit. Get the good loving body rocking, knocking boots all night long. But it's more of an energetic thing. Now, of course, I'm known for talking about body game, but anybody who's really read my books, especially Sexual Chemistry, knows the body is the foundation of sex appeal. And people even say that. People, if you like just randomly Google it, they'll say, "Oh yeah, the body." That's why I emphasize it so much, because let's be real, fellas out here trying to get sex. And if you got a handsome face or something, oh yeah, that's cool. It definitely matters, but that's more for communication and stuff. But what gets them hot is that body, but not just the body. That's just a foundation. That's a physical part, very important. But you gotta just have that attitude, that confidence. Like a lot of dudes don't got that confidence and stuff. Like if you're scared to talk to women, how's that confident? Seriously, you scared to talk to, you scared to approach a woman. Or if she approaches you, you still scared to talk. Shoot, she leaving breadcrumbs out. She leaving not just a sign. She wrote the sign down and said, "Come here and get this." And you sitting there, well, I don't know what to do. That's not confident. Because I'm going to tell you something with women. When they want sex. Let's get that out of the way. Every time I say that, you get some dudes and they be like, "I don't believe it, because if they did, they had sex with the average man." Okay. Stop for a second. Let me get a little serious for a second. Women by nature, they want sex, but they only want it with a small percentage of men. And if you want to call them alpha, select, dominate, 80-20, whatever, that's just a reality. Understand something. See, a man, if you put a man in a room with 100 women, he can get all 100 pregnant. We built the spread out seed. If you put a woman in a room with 100 men, she has sex with them, of course she's going to get pregnant, of course, but she can only get pregnant about one at a time. So as a result, women tend to be picky who they're going to generally have sex with. I've known some women who were promiscuous and they would still tell some men no. So they still want sex. It's just a question of being a man they want to have sex with. Use some common sense. They still want it. And that's part of my program, telling you how to be that man in that select category. Because it's a sexual hierarchy. And because I know somebody always say money and stuff. No, money, that's, if they just using you for that, that's not necessarily sexual. 40%, well, that's the number I've seen. 40% of marriages are sexless. 40% of marriages are sexless. Might be higher, because some people might not be talking. But whatever. In fact, I remember I knew a whole bunch of guys got married, and they were telling other people sex stops when you get married. And I was like, really? It didn't stop for me. It ain't stop for me. Shit. But I'm in that special category. But it's the energy. Ultimately, it comes down to the energy, the confidence you got, and everything. Because yeah, you got the hardware. I don't care, and yeah, you got all that, but you still got to have the confidence to go along with it. You got to have the skill. You got to give off that vibe. Like if you in the bedroom and she butt naked, you know what to do, and you got to know how to work it. Shit, you got to give off the impression. Yeah, you gonna do something. Because I'm gonna tell you what. I've had women in the past, and this is during periods I wasn't even hitting the gym as hard. And they said, Ron, you look like you're good in bed. In fact, one woman, she had trouble being sexually satisfied, had actually dealt with some celebrities, named celebrities. This is one I could name. She said she dealt with. Well, let's just say she has some disparaging to say. It's a well-known name, too. It surprised people. I don't want to get sued. So, a couple celebrities. Yeah, she looking at me. Most me and her ever did was hug, but she said, Ron, no, you tear me up. But it's the energy. It's the energy that a man gives off. He might have a physicality, yeah, sure, but does he have the energy? That's why sometimes you'll see a woman, and she can have a guy and dude could be classically handsome and all of that, even have a good body build. But then she'll still cheat on him with a guy who might have less. Now you might say, "Why, Rom? You say it's the body and everything." No, I say the body gets him over there. The body gets him over there, and it does arouse them some. But you got to finish the job. You got to take them to the end. That's why sometimes you'll see like a very beautiful woman and dude's average, and some people think it's money and stuff. But I'm like, look now, and say, no, he probably tore her ass up. That's the whole basis what I've talked about before, ugly sexy. If a woman because a lot of women think, believe it or not, and this gets dips in the shadow world, they feel like that guy who don't look as good is going to work harder in bed. They actually think that. They say, okay, he don't look that good. He ain't going to get much, but he kind of confident anyway. All right, he know what he doing. In fact, that's a calling card. Because that's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. Can you make her holler? And that's what the woman is judging. And really, when I talk select and non-select, everybody be adding all this other bullshit, and it's a sexual hierarchy. Pure sexual hierarchy. Because women are always evaluating a man sexually. Now, like say the dude don't look as great or he ain't making that much money. He just got to be quiet when he see out in public. He got to act like he don't know. Hence, sexual shadow world. That's a big reason. Because some of the dudes who dip into that world ain't the same dudes you think would be in that world. But the only common denominator is the women in there, like his body build. And if his body build, say his body build is average, well, let's just say third leg. And then even with all that physicality, it still comes down to the energy, the confidence. Because seriously, what I found with a lot of guys, even in consultations, I ain't gonna call anybody's name, but a lot of guys just ain't confident sexually, worried about their dick size, worried if they can satisfy that woman. And see, that comes off because a woman, like I said, women, even a promiscuous woman, just by the nature of it, are going to be kind of picky. Because even if you see promiscuous women, it's usually two things with them. Usually two things. One, they went through something early in life that just threw everything off with them, or they'll mess with the same type of guy, same body build and everything. Even being promiscuous. But like I said, they'll still say no, because that's just a woman's nature. That's a woman's nature. Like, you get some women, because I did some on my women's channel about, I told them straight up, men got a problem when a woman has a roster. And I got some pushback and stuff. But, it's like, even when they have dating a bunch of guys, they ain't sleeping with them all. In fact, a woman might have like a rotation of 9 guys she's dating. But then the guy who ain't on the regular dating roster, number 10, that's the one tearing her ass up, making her holler. He's just the maintenance man. And he got that big D energy. And that's the thing. Because when you got it, it's how you interact, it's how you carry yourself. It's how you look at women. Are you looking them in the eye? Are you looking at them with confidence? They looking at your body language and everything. You know, your nonverbal presentation. You know, and for if for guys to understand that, think about something. And I know a lot of street dudes that understand what I'm about to say. And I know people say, "Why you always saying the street thing?" Well, let me go on a tangent real quick. Street dudes don't go by what's in the book. They go by what they actually experience, what they actually see out here. Street dudes are more social, so they can interact. They can read those nonverbal cues better than somebody who's supposed to be book smart. That's the key. That's the key. But the thing is, in street dudes, I understand this. You know, you ever see those women that they're, you know what, they ain't the prettiest women. They ain't the prettiest. Their bodies are high, but some about them, they just give off a vibe like you can fuck their brains out. And usually that's going to be a combination of their physical body. I mean, they might not have that perfect body like swimsuit model body, but it's going to be decent body, but also how they dress, how they walk, how they look at you, their body language and all of that, how receptive. You know, like if you say hi to them, they ain't gonna be like or like try to ignore you, but they'll be like, hey, how you doing? They'll be friendly, they'll look up at you. That's that thing. So they give off the impression, hey, if you shoot that shot, they're gonna be receptive to it. That's why you got a lot of dudes who, they ain't that fashion model or what people call a Chad and Tyrone, especially in some street environments, and they be fucking some badass women because they reading the women. They peeping them, but they go for the sexy ones. In fact, any man who's a student realize a woman can be beautiful but not sexy. And to get an idea about this for somebody who still, you know, might not have that street astutness, here's the exercise for you. Go to Google, look up female fashion models. Right? And look at them, look how they build, look how they look how innocent they look. You know? Look at all of that. All right? You did that. Now, look up porn stars. And take a look, just look at them totally. Look at their looks, their body builds, their facial expressions, even how they fix their hair, every little thing. Look at every little thing. That's the difference. And women, they see that same thing in men. In fact, here's something for some guys, because since you got some guys who always trying to measure men's skulls and all this shit, do a Google search on those male models that guys hold up as being on top of the food chain, right? Do some search, put them in one corner, look at their pics and all of that. Then look up some male porn stars and see there's a big difference. There's a big major difference. Those dudes with that porn star, part of the reason that they in the position they in is because of the energy they give off, the vibe they give off. I remember I had mentioned Mr. Marcus a few times. I remember the first time, because I ain't big in porn. First time I just saw his picture. They just say he was in porn. I said, yeah, that's a nasty looking motherfucker. He looked like that type you don't want around your woman and stuff. Because there's a certain look. Some street cats might understand it, that you can look at a guy and know he out here fucking. There's a certain look. Women know it better, definitely. A man will learn it if he just around those cats and all of a sudden he's like, well, he look innocent, but this dude look like he'll get something. You know? And all it is that BDE, that big dick energy. And that's very important. And it's really a mindset thing. That's why you got some dudes, they can do all this other stuff. In fact, that's why you got some dudes and they'll say, well, women tell me I look good and I'm handsome. You ain't giving off that energy. That's very important. Now, I get deeper into that. That's more of a mindset change. That ain't something that, you know, you can just take some course or something and just tap into it. But anyway, y'all, that's all I got for now. I'm going to get back with y'all later. All right? Peace and blessings.